Mauricio Pochettino will take charge of the US as they take on Jamaica. We're at the quarterfinal stages of the CONCACAF Nations League, played over Thursday and Monday, home and away then for the US. Oh no, Pochettino's biggest critic is with us, Kasey Keller, who was very angry the last time he was on, talking about the new coach, not impressed with him whatsoever. What's he going to have to do over these two games to win you over, Kasey?
Well, I think that's a little harsh, Dan. Yes, I was disappointed, 100%. That I was disappointed. What I wanted to really see, I think, with the new manager and the way they broke the bank to bring in the new manager is I wanted to see this instant response, and I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all, actually. And in fact, I also saw some other things that frustrated me in not going down to Mexico with the strongest team possible you could take, and some of those frustrations. But then, kind of on reflection, I kind of realized that Pochettino's looking at this as a 14 to 18-month preseason. And there really isn't any games until that first World Cup match that actually matters. And so
this is a CONCACAF Nations League quarter-final, Kasey. Come on, what's wrong with you?
Yes, Dan. This is the most important game Pochettino's ever coached. And so it's really important that they peak right now, and they have the best players available to beat Jamaica. So, look, I want the United States to win every match by 5. Of course I do. But and that's why I was so disappointed with kind of the attitude in that first camp, because you only have one chance to make a first impression. And I thought the first impression was very lackadaisical. It wasn't this new regime come in here and I expect all these boxes to be ticked, and it just didn't happen. So I'm looking at a team that needs to get that energy back. What did we always hear about the U.S. team over the years? They've always used kind of a chip on their shoulder to punch above their weight, to give 100% the whole time, and to show the world that they're a better footballing team than the world gives them credit for. And we kind of lost that edge. And I think what we were hoping that a new manager would come in and that edge would instantly return. You got outshot at home in a friendly against Panama. I didn't see an edge from day one. Yes, you got the result, and I give anybody credit. Anytime, the first and foremost, you have to win matches. So they won the match, but then the attitude going into that Mexico game it looked like it deserved to be beaten handily, and they were beaten handily. And so now here's this opportunity in this huge game that you mentioned, Dan, this quarterfinal Nations League against Jamaica over 2 legs. And look, Shaka will tell you, the National Stadium Jamaica in Kingston is not an easy place to go play. And this is a Jamaican side that has some match winners in it. And look, I think this is the type of lineup he's going to go with, the most experienced, best lineup he can put out, possibly Weah instead of Aronson, possibly maybe Richards instead of McKenzie. But I think there's there's this opportunity that he doesn't have a ton of options, particularly at outside back. We know he doesn't have a lot of options up front, so I think he's really looking at this like, who can play their way in, which he pretty much knows already. 5 or 6 guys are going to be there if they're fit. And then it's that case of who's going to emerge and who is going to play their way out. So although I think Pochettino is looking at these matches as a giant preseason, I think there's a lot of players in this side that have to be looking at these matches like a preseason. And every chance you get to start because of either lack of somebody else or because you've earned it through playing well for your club, you have to continue to show that new coaching staff that you're going to be the right guy in 14 months and 16 months when he really starts to look at this seriously.
Of course, one of the big questions is who is going to be Pochettino's man when it comes to being that number 9, the man who's going to get the goals. Ricardo Pereira, of course, has started well for PSV so far this season. Here's he talking ahead of the game.
To be honest, it's been a long year and a half of being patient on the bench, waiting to play 10, 15 minutes every weekend. It got a little frustrating, but at the same time, I know that I have to be patient with the process. I'm at a point in my my career right now where I'm ready. You know, I'm ready to either start, you know, to get more playing time, you know, and, you know, I think like I feel like I've been showing that, you know, whether it's like club or national team, you know, and that's just how I'm feeling. You know, I'm feeling ready to be the man, to be the starter, and, you know, I feel like, you know, I've been proving that, and, you know, I'm going to continue with the same mentality, and I'm going to continue to take advantage of my opportunities.
Good nodding game from Matt Turner. Yes, very right. It is the question, it's the age-old question, who is going to be the number 9, isn't it, Kasey?
Well, it is, and I think the only way that changes is somebody in the number 9 position has to take the opportunity. And I think Ricardo Pepi, I think, rightfully has been criticized in the opportunities that he has got to start, that it hasn't been with the same effect as when he comes in the last 10, 15 minutes. And there's only one way you can change that is prove to people like us that when you have an opportunity to start a match, or maybe 2 matches in a row, I don't look necessarily at goals and assists, but I want to see how well you link up. I want to see how well you kind of press when you don't have the ball, and just kind of your overall play in that number 9 position. And then I think the goals and the assists have to come into play. But yeah, it's been very comfortable for Ricardo being able to come in the last 5 minutes, score a goal when everybody's tired or pushing in the opposite direction. Now there's a case where, hey, you got to prove it. That's all you can do is work hard in training, work hard in the opportunities you get coming off the bench. And then when there is a chance, albeit because of Josh Sargent's injured or nobody else has really stepped up, or Balogun or whoever isn't in the squad, okay, here's your chance. You've been telling us that you're ready for this and that it's time, and you've been patient. Well, now you got to prove it, and that's all you can do. Here's your chance, 2 legs, prove that you're a starter for the men's national team.